Some would play.
Harmonia is a water-bound land where the gods used to intervene in men's lives, but in this lifetime seem to have forsaken the land to the qualms between the Eris and the Enyo, who seem hell-bent on destroying each other. Since everyone is out for all they can get, the heroes have been banded together to find the 3 ancient artifacts for a wealthy yet young merchant. The artifacts are rumored to be spread throughout Harmonia, across the 2 lands belonging to the Eris and Enyo. It may be hard to find them, as people are moving to the capitals in anticipation of the war games, the only thing that keeps full-scale war from occurring. Welcome to Some Would Play, featuring Rico.
I am a half-elf paladin named Pan Halcyon.
And Matt.
I am a dragonborn monk named Ari Futan.
Daphne.
I am a halfling druid named Gelsira Venfire.
And Jenna.
I'm a clerical elf named Lux Bellator.
And I am your host, your dungeon master, Deborah. All right, are we ready for the Rico Recap?
Rico Recap. Oh, I missed it. I didn't time it with
Rico
everybody else.
Recap.
Damn, we suck. Welcome back to Some Would Play. On the last adventure, all 4 of the heroes were introduced to one another. They all signed a very lucrative contract by a very mysterious lawyer.
It's a good adjective.
Yeah, who has decided we need to go on a quest for 3 mythical objects.
Guy's super lucrative.
Of legends. Cronus' sickle, the robe and necklace of Harmonia, and the golden apple of Eris, also known as the golden apple of Discord. We have to get all of this done before the end of the war games, which start in 1 month. We have geared up. We got drunk.
We did that.
We went to a brothel.
Well, we didn't go to a
I think
Some of us
you went to a battle.
One of us went to a
And
brothel
then decided
and got a
to
little
bed
bit
down
robbed.
for the evening because it's never good to go travel on the road in the middle of the evening. I think that's about where we left off, yeah?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I
so,
think that covers everything.
Well done. Good
DM.
Rico recap.
Okay, so we want to go into what happened or where we ended
The
up last time.
Rico recap.
No, I don't remember everything that happened, so don't depend on me because I didn't take very good notes. But
I'm going to take better notes this time.
I do remember that after we had left the main capital city, what was the name of the city?
Ithmia.
Thank you. We came to a crossroads and there was a sign, and we were going to head west, was it?
Southeast.
No, originally we were going to
Oh,
head west
gotcha.
because that's where the
Head
first
west,
clue
young
was.
man.
For
I really
the-
think we should have still, but
What?
Well, hindsight.
We got
Thank you.
sidetracked.
Well, no, we got sidetracked because
And I-
as we were at the crossroads, there was a little birdie that came down on a sign.
Oh, yeah.
After the sign was glowing, and
And I interpreted it,
and
you
then
know, as I do.
Druid, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the druid talked to the little birdie, and the birdie was telling us to go to the sea. It just said sea, sea, sea. So we went to the sea, and as we were
See
down
what
on the
you can
beach,
see.
I fought a cube.
yeah, you did. And
No,
Sucked
you
up by
got
a cube.
sucked up by a cube. We fought a
Let me
cube.
out. This is not a dance.
Let me out.
And we found on the beach a golden potion of supreme healing. And on the bottom of the vial that the little potion was in was an apple. The potion was gold. So I put 2 and 2 together and thought that this potion had something to do with the golden apple of Discord. And we talked to the fishermen on the boats and decided to go to Pelican Town. We got to Pelican Town. Everybody in this little, it's like a big city. This little seaside city is in incredibly good health despite being hard, regular blue-collar laborers. So we think that this alchemist that we need to meet in this town is doing something to give everybody this glowing good looks and this amazing good health. That's all that I remember, though.
That's
about it.
That was
That
the
seems-
Oh,
whole
okay.
thing.
Well, I guess I did
Basically
remember
perfect.
everything.
Yeah.
Rico recap.
I guess I did remember everything. All right, so see, I did good, Matt. I did good. I remembered.
And now
You
we're
did great.
we're all sleeping now.
You done growl.
We had
we were-
stopped for the evening
Oh,
to,
Yep, we were in the
to rest.
inn.
So we're here in Pelican Town, and we're doing some shopping, getting some information, and everybody is super, super rude when we try and ask about the alchemist, which, I mean, some of our party members are asking really weird questions and being really spastic. That's because they're from beyond the mist, so they've probably never seen decent civilization. But
Wow.
every time we try and find information from the alchemist, they start to like get pushy and get really rude.
And tell us not to bother the old
Tell us
man.
not to bother the old guy. So I think this alchemist is doing something with one of the relics, and this town is benefiting from it. They say they don't know what any of these legends or relics are, but I think that's a lie. I probably should have made a couple rolls for motive sense or something like that, but I didn't. That's my fault. We bought some new weapons. Somebody bought 50 feet of rope. The dragon got a nice red cloak, and somebody bought a little recorder. And we finally made our way back to the alchemist, and we've knocked on the door, and we were greeted by a younger gentleman who's not an old gentleman, who obviously left the sign up. So we're getting ready to introduce ourselves to this guy and hopefully try and talk to the alchemist and get somewhere on one of these relics. And that's where we left off. All right, so we were in Pelican Town, not Pelicanburg.
Pelican Mill, actually.
It's Pelican Town. We were in Pelican Town,
Pelican
and we
Town.
finally got to talk to the alchemist who was decades and decades and decades old, and found out that he makes potions out of a magic well with water that ceases aging or reverses aging.
But he looks young.
Yeah.
Very
So
young.
probably reverses aging then. And the whole town, that's why everybody looks so healthy and so nice and neat. But they don't like to talk about it because I guess it's like their super secret elixir of life or whatever, but it's stupid. Anyway, Jenna went out to go look at the well and then fell down a hole like a big dummy.
Like a big old dumb.
So we had to use some of Daphne's rope to rescue her.
Thanks, Steph. Which we all talk so much shit about.
Yep, until you needed it.
Right.
Yep.
The rope?
And the rope.
Okay.
We talked to him. He got nervous. We asked about the apple. I think somebody bought some... Oh, Jelsira bought some men's potions for her cycles.
That did happen, didn't it?
It did happen. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
might need him, you know?
Yep.
It's a long
And
journey ahead of us.
by the time we had overstayed our welcome, the guards came in and told us we had to move along, and we all agreed, all right, it's time to go. And we started on a 4-day trek into the forest so we could try and find the source of the wellspring that the alchemist was making potions out of. On the way there, we ran into a little treant. It followed us for a couple days. Then we ran into some stupid pixies.
He was so cute.
Yeah, it was. And we ran into some pixies, and we had to get in some fight with some pixies because they were dicking around with
More like
Lux.
bitchies.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we took care of the pixies, and we finally got to the edge of the forest and bedded down for the last day. And that
Isn't it
is
the burnt forest? Is that what it's called? Or what's the forest called again?
The Acmonian Wood.
That's it, Acmonian Wood.
That's
I
more
wrote that
different.
down.
Yeah, I didn't. Thank
It's
you.
to the west.
And that's where we ended the game, getting ready to head into the forest after murdering a band of pixies that came to mess with us.
Fucking assholes.
Because we don't play that. We don't play that shit.
No, we breathe fire on that.
Oh yeah, we
Except-
got to see the Dragonborn actually blow fire successfully after like the 7th try.
Right.
I was about to say, I like how Rico makes it sound like you guys did such a great job when really
We fumbled through that whole
you
thing.
guys could not hit
That's not how I
anything.
remember it. I remember us slaughtering those fairies like it wasn't a darn thing. So we got into the Acmonian Wood, and we got attacked by bats because our druid doesn't know how to walk over tree roots. We handily
Right.
and easily smashed all 4 of those bats.
Yeah, very easily. Not one.
I killed
Trouble.
the crap out of one of those bats.
Yep, and Pan popped one of their heads like a grape.
I drank some bat
After that, we started to look for some source of water or something, and Jelsira found an owl who is now just hanging around for some reason. Owls are weird. We shouldn't trust them, though, because they are raptors and apex predators.
Yep.
Side note, everybody, that may come back and hurt us in the future.
Ari pissed off a tree.
Ari might have bat AIDS from drinking
That's
bat
called
blood.
Bades. Let's be sensitive.
I'm feeling a little weak.
And it was
think
a
that's the
pretty
one damage you
uneventful
took.
trek through the Acmonian Wood until we had to cross a rope bridge. There were
A mile-long rope
There were
bridge.
two amazing rescues. Ari rescued Lux, and then Pan rescued Ari. And then we came into a clearing that was protected by some sort of blessed barrier. And we had found 3 huts that were adorned with like holy symbols. And that's where we left off before
Also,
we started.
one had smoke coming out of it,
Yep.
so it's recently been inhabited.
Or still is. So that's where we left off. We were going to start investigating why this clearing is blessed and who or if anyone lives in these. Well, you said they were like meager, like modest, just regular huts, right?
Yeah, they're very meager, modest huts.
So we had gotten into the Acmonian Wood.
We did.
And there were 3 paths. There was a left path, a right path, and a path going forward. We took the path going
thought you
forward.
said you didn't
Shut
remember
up.
this.
Shut up. And because
Let Rico do the recap.
nobody ever, I mean, it was the less traveled path, so we just assumed we would take the less traveled path because it was bound to lead to somewhere.
Actually,
What the
it
fuck
was
is
my suggestion that we went the most traveled path. Can we just, remember me being smart for just...
Whose recap is this? Okay, you go
It's-
ahead. You recap it.
That's all I remember. All right.
So
I'm
we
just gonna shut
went
up
on
the
the
rest of
path
the
going
time.
straight because it was a
Ooh,
less
I
traveled
remember.
path, and we thought we'd get somewhere. And then we ran into this mystic shield that was controlled by 3 druids. And we tried to get into the shield unsuccessfully, and they zapped Ari with lightning
Assholes.
and wrapped him up in vines. So we decided to leave, and we went back
I'm beginning to think that Ari is a real disability.
Nope, not at all. And liability is the word you were looking for.
Thank you. That's exactly
So we went back
what
and
I
we
was
took
saying.
the
That is the word I was
path
looking
to the
for.
left, and as we were taking that path to the left, we found a little shack with an old fighter named Adani. And we talked to Adani about the druids, and they are the Voldemorts of the forest. Nobody speaks their names because they're bad guys, obviously. And we found out there was an animal path further into the woods that we could take to possibly get what?
Written down somewhere. You're just remembering.
Didn't
I
we
remember
go
this.
across
Jesus
some
Christ.
kind of bridge? Or
Yeah, that was
something?
Yeah, this was the
that
bridge.
was that was on the way to Adani's. That was the
Right.
path. That was on the path.
That was in the middle path.
So
right?
fuck
Yeah.
that recap.
Anyway,
We made it. That I guess that's all.
We
And
killed a
then,
spider. We fought a spider.
we did kill Spider.
That was after Donnie, wasn't it?
No, that was before because we told her we killed the spider and she gave
that's
me a
right.
shield.
Yeah, she was
I
super
Adani
happy
shield.
about us killing
Adani.
that spider.
I
Yep.
liked
Yeah.
Adani. I thought Adani was really sweet.
And also, she was in the games.
That's right.
She escaped from
a
the games.
Former, right. Yeah.
She escaped from them. That's why she was living out in the Acmonian Wood by herself.
And she was real nervous, I remember, about us
Oh yeah.
making our presence known.
Yeah, and I wrote down that I'm super pissed at the druids.
Yep.
Did you
And she
write
told us
that
there was an
down?
animal path that could possibly help us get back to the alcove, the clearing where the druids were. But we also found out that the druids are citizens of the country we're in now, but they're on the wrong side of the border.
That's right.
Remember that,
Yep.
Ari? So
Yep.
we're going to go inspect this animal path and see if we can get into the area where the druids are. And if not, then we will probably continue across the border to go let the people on the other side know that they have invaders living on their land
Yeah.
to see if they can help us out. And as we were getting ready to go into the animal path, we bedded down for the evening, and that was where we ended the game. Last episode, we decided to
Rico Recap.
start making our way down the animal path. We didn't know exactly where it was, but our druid sent their animal companion out to go find out where it was, gave us a hint
Cedric.
of what to look for. So we
the
actually
win.
found the animal path. As we started to make our way through the animal path, we got attacked by 2 black bears,
Dumbass bears.
which we handily defeated.
But
And then
kill.
our cleric, for some reason, was just like, I'm just going to go slit their throats. And our paladin was like, oh, no, you're not. And decided to push the cleric. And they were like, what? What the frick? And I was like, the threat's over. We can just leave.
And then
they
I
were
was like, okay.
oh, yeah. And then we left.
That makes sense.
And so we started back down the animal path that we finally found. And we made it to the barrier again of the 3 druids, which means we've also crossed the border into the other nation.
We crossed the river again. The
7 Nation
mile-long
Army.
river.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, called
And
Jack White.
we decided that we were going to rest for the evening to see if the barrier weakened, maybe while the druids slept. Otherwise, we don't have a way into it that we're
But
aware
we
of.
also did notice that they were still there.
And speaking some dumbass half-elf bullshit stuff.
Whoa, I'm
cool
half elf.
stuff.
Fuck you, first of all. Also, it was a mix.
Racist.
It was a mix of elvish and celestial.
Yeah,
and
Elvish and some other stuff. So
I know infernal.
half-elf.
Don't ask why the paladin can speak with demons. It's irrelevant. But I can't speak
I
celestial.
gotta tell you, I don't need to know.
So,
I can speak celestial, and the shit didn't make sense.
do you speak elvish?
Yes.
Well, you
I'm
didn't
an
actually
elf.
roll to see if you actually understood what they were saying.
Yeah, you could have.
Oh, that.
You were just like, oh, I kind of
That's
recognize.
Yeah, you could have listened a little bit closer and probably heard exactly what they were
This is
saying.
the language
Okay,
I
well,
speak.
you know, this is a learning experience.
Exactly, right?
And
And
here we are.
yeah, we decided to take a rest so we could attack under the cover of night or investigate.
Wait, attack?
Investigate.
Okay.
Under the
Sorry,
cover of darkness.
Definitely attack.
And that's where we ended. And now everybody's caught up with
And
the Rico
we
recap.
put Ari in shackles.
We didn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, side quest. I mean, the recap would be like we just finished getting we got the golden apple of Discord. Is that what it's called?
Woo. Yep.
So we got it, and we're just camping out, right?
Yeah, so
Where-
you're camping out and
Oh, are we just going full bore right into it?
I got like the path.
Yep, I guess so.
The path is crummy, and we set up camp. Last week we heard a noise. Pan heard a noise and woke Ari up. We went to see what's going on. We ran into 2 Dragonborn. They enchanted Pan. They hid him away in a little cave. Ari went into their cave with them and was like, "What's going on?" They said they'd feed him. They gave him tea instead. It's not food, but here we are. They said that they were looking for the magical artifacts, which we are also looking for. And we have one, but we did not tell them that because, you know what? Keep our cards close to the chest. They said that they could use magic to get the other 2 because they're not worried about the golden apple of Discord because they're in cahoots with those crappy druids who are going to get it someday, whether it be from me or from Karma. I assume Karma is going to dole out to him before I can come back, but they're in cahoots, and so they said they were going to use magic to bring the other 2, the robe and the necklace, to them, and asked if we would help. Ari said, yeah, sure, we'll help. And apparently that meant that I was agreeing to them sacrificing Pan into this weird little lake in their cave. Ari wasn't having any of that, and flash bang, we were back out on the path and attacked by a snake, which we killed, and it poisoned us. Pan was able to lay on hands and heal Ari's poison
Like a boss.
like a boss, and that's where we are.
That's where we'd left off. Yeah, I don't think
That
we
was-
need to recap the side quest, do we?
all right, we
I mean,
are
I-
not recapping the side quest.
I assume it'll be just in line with the episodes and
Yeah.
not bonus content. I mean, we did stuff, so
You did do stuff, but that means we also normally have a Rico recap.
Oh, I can't remember. I legit cannot remember what happened last game. Like
Rico,
that was
I'm
not
being
the side
really
quest
disappointed
game.
in you.
That's
this is like
perfectly
the
fine.
third time.
This is actually the first time that I haven't legitimately remembered. I always say
That
I
you
don't remember, but I actually do remember
All right.
most of the time.
dude, I wrote down so much nonsense. I wasn't even drinking. Like, what?
All right. So
None of this makes any sense.
So Ari and Pan got back from the farmer's house to find Lux and Gelsira wrapped up in some giant spider's web. Ari, who was very wise and very brave, slowly cut them out with his short sword, doing absolutely no damage to them at all with his surgical precision.
I did
That's a lie.
damage.
I know. Shut up. Eventually freed them, and then we got snuck attacked by a spider.
Snook attack.
Snuck attacked, and we quickly dispatched that spider and continued on our walk to where we were hoping was Aspasia. After a crow in the mystical magical Acmonian wood gave us a sign that said, Aspasia, Aspasia. And then Lux, being as brilliant as she is and seeing omens and everything, said, hey, you know what, guys? We should probably head towards Aspasia. We all agreed with her quite heartily and made our way to Aspasia, where we found this big, huge 36-foot wall. And Ari,
Which is 3 stories. We
being-
also found out
3 stories, whatever, 36 feet, 3 stories.
12 foot per story.
Being the dexterous ninja that he is, just bounded up over the wall in one leap. And
I like this
Lux-
recap better.
Lux, the cleric, in her heavy armor, also bound that wall with no problem whatsoever. And then Pan threw the halfling with his immense strength up over the wall, where Ari then caught her and
Takes us 10 damn moves to kill a spider, but you give us a 36 footer. And we're like, 20.
and we all eventually got over the wall, where it became mystically dark for some reason. We found out there was some sort of curfew, and we Gelsira, Lux, and Ari were bound and captured by soldiers. And then Pan got to
pretty
meet
cool.
the Demarcus Marzin of Aspasia, who is the ruler of the
He is
area.
the DeMarcus.
That's what I said, the Demarcus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And found out that he is a betting man who loves blood sport and trains people for the war games. Pan, being magnanimous as he always is, bargained for his allies' freedom if he volunteered to fight in the pit for them. And we were getting ready to gear up to fight in this game of sport at the DeMarcus's pleasure. And that's where we ended the last game.
Gonna be a
That
blast.
is beautiful. That was just the most beautiful
That was the
thing
best Rico
ever.
recap to date.
So in the last episode of Some Would Play, we got into Aspasia and we met the Demarcus Marzan of Aspasia. He is rather the ruling governor of this town or hamlet or whatever. And my poor dumb friends got roped into a combat match, because the Demarcus Marzan of Aspasia loves his blood sport, as do the people in his town. And the brave, courageous Pan, being as selfless as he is, said, you know what? I'm going to join them, and if we win, you have to set us free. And, well, we then got thrown into this giant ring, and we had to face the 45-time champions?
76.
76. Oh my goodness. 76-time champions. I guess
Spoiler alert, not anymore.
half ogres.
Right.
And there was an epic battle between the party of 4 and 2 half ogres. Not just one, but 2. And during that heroic fight, our resident druid Gelsira decided that she was going to, just on a whim, shapeshift into a big giant grizzly
Beast
bear
mode.
and eat one of them, while our monk, with his miraculous flurry of blows, felled another one with just his bare fist. And the cleric, the cleric made sure that nobody was hurt or died. She did a really good job of keeping us alive. And I really didn't do a whole lot, because they were more worried about their bear than they were for me. There's that buzzing again.
I heard.
And since we'd won the game of sport, we were invited back to the Demarcus Marzan's mansion, house, whatever, as we were now the new champions of this town of this little hamlet or town in Aspasia. And a wicked chess game ensued, because the Demarcus Marzan has, or is rumored to have, the sickle of Kronos. So there was a wager. Pan did something stupid, but it turned out, to be for the good.
Okay.
And
I
then,
forgot how risky that was.
yeah. Yeah, risked the golden apple of discord to
There he is,
for right here
there.
for the Cyclochronos.
Oh, by
and
the way, that's the golden apple of Discord.
the
Microphone.
entire time that I was playing this chess game with the brilliant.
Buzzing.
Oh, okay, it's good now. The DeMarcus Marzan of Aspasia. My 3 compatriots were off sneaking about and looking for things and, I don't know, finding hidden trapdoors. I really don't know what they did while I was in that chess game because it was a serious chess game.
And we don't know what we did either.
And at the end of the chess game, the DeMarcus Marzan was whisked off by his staff who needed his attention, and we 3 were whisked off to our rooms. And I believe that's where we'd ended that episode. Did I miss anything?
Oh, so we went to our rooms?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, then
You
we
did
sleep.
mention Pan 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ah.
sorry.
Oh, I don't know if I did. If I didn't, yes, Pan won the chess game. So, the last episode was a 100% disaster.
And you were naked for a lot of it.
I think it was awesome.
What should have been a nice regular evening of rest and relaxation.
I disagree.
Ari and Jelsira and Lux went sneaking around back up to the game room to try and open the trapdoor that they had found while Pan was playing chess with the DeMarcus Marzan of Aspasia.
Ooh, I like the contraction there, though. That was good.
And there was a book that was found that nobody can read.
Because it turned into part of a rat.
Yep, Gelsira shapeshifted into a rat after Ari figured out a combination lock to get a trap door open. Unfortunately, the trap door only opened 6 inches, so we sent, a rat went down in there. Come to find out that it was Gelsira, and she hasn't come back up yet. So we were playing Chinese checkers and trying to figure out a way to open this trap door, and the guards didn't know their place and didn't know who they were talking to, so they decided to come up and try and escort us down to our rooms.
And talk all that mad shit.
Yeah, they were talking a lot of shit, and they should know their place a little bit better. They're the help.
about to learn it.
And so they said, hey, you guys are going to have to go down to your rooms or this is going to get messy. And Ari, wasting no time, said, well, I've got something to say about that, and breathed a cone of fire on the guards. And then that leaves Pan standing there with just nothing but a towel.
Naked as hell.
Yep. Stuck in this game room with 4 guards who now have swords and are on fire. And we're about to get in this fight.
And Lux is in the background just rolling her eyes.
In this game room with 4 guards who are armed and armored versus Ari, Lux, and Pan. By the way, Pan's in nothing but a towel, but he's still butt naked. And that's where we left off.
Just
it was
ding dong flopping.
Yeah, it could have been great. But we decided we were going to make this difficult on ourselves.
Welcome to your
as
personal
all
hell.
D&D campaigns should be. So I think some of us are going to be ready to re-roll new characters, but we'll find out at the climax of this session. All right, so there was
Nice.
an altercation with
I would say so.
the DeMarcus Marzan of Aspasia. We were able to save Gelsira, who snuck into the wizard's private chamber. She was then captured.
As a mouse.
A rat.
She was a rat.
Sorry. Fuck.
And she was captured because wizards are crafty and tricksy. The DeMarcus Marzan, no exception to that. As we were upstairs trying to get into the trap door that Ari had found, I tried to dismiss the guards using, my lofty status as a noble, and they
That
weren't
was
having
quality,
it.
by the way.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sure.
Can't
And
wait for them to hear this.
Because they weren't listening to me, a fight broke out. It was quite the brawl. Ari had to use his fire breath to set the room ablaze, embers crackling, fire licking up the sides of the walls and the doors. Pan butt naked because he was in a bath and was interrupted. Dick swinging.
I think you
majestic
even
dick swinging.
predicted it.
Majestic dick
I think Pan knew what was going to happen.
And there was
Like he was
some
hoping.
crafty magic trick to getting the door to open all the way. So we whispered the magic words. We were able to get into the DeMarcus Marzan's secret room. When we were down there, a fight broke out. The wizard attacked Ari first. So
Bound
we
to my
had
hands and shit.
Yep, and
Bullshit.
stuck you up against the wall.
Yeah, I was hoping to get raped.
So I had to shoulder tackle him while I was naked.
I'm into.
And then while I was naked, there was a holy smite that knocked him out. And then
Trying to chase it down, but I have no idea.
Pan, being the stupid idiot that he is, decided, let's not kill... Ooh, that's terrible. Let's not kill the DeMarcus. Let's go ahead and just, leave him stabilized. Oh, that's what it is. And we found the Sickle
whole thing.
of Kronos, one of the 3 mystical artifacts of the land, the Eris and the Enyo. And we made our escape out of the secret chamber, back upstairs into the castle. We stopped by my room, so my Pan's room, so we could get armored and equipped. And as we were making our way out, we got attacked by a host of guards throwing javelins and arrows. The DeMarcus was throwing fireballs at us, every single one of us.
Yeah, it was wild.
Gelsira turned into a bear,
It was a whole wild thing.
and there was a lava
she
pit
went from
at
rat
one
to
point.
bear
Super
way too easily.
And there was an epic battle out in the courtyard of the DeMarcus Marzan's estate where we hacked our way through the gates that were closed on us.
It's definitely Gelsira, right?
No, it's...
Hard
Oh,
G.
yeah, Gelsira.
Well,
Gelsira, sorry.
I think that
Because you guys say jelly all the
We
time.
say
so I
jelly,
Gelsira,
but,
it's
you know.
We
Gelsira.
say jelly, and then that became Gelsira, but it's
Right.
definitely hard G Gelsira.
But
And-
Daff has also said Gelsira.
which she can only say because the hard G is at the beginning of the word.
Gelsira, with all her druidic wisdom, turned into a bear and picked up the DeMarcus Marzan by his throat and mauled him repeatedly into the bars and into the ground and crushed his stupid wizard head right there in his own courtyard. We then ran through the gate and are making our epic
Gelsira
escape
2020.
through Aspasia. We've
Bernie
outrun the guards so far. We've killed the DeMarcus Marzan, and now we just have to find our way out. That's where we left off.
I love it. That's
So
going to be
after
important for our listeners.
Our defeat of the DeMarcus Marzan, we were trying to escape Aspasia. On our way out, it happened to be dark enough and late enough in the evening that the curfew in the town took effect, which made our escape relatively easy. We were able to find a stable, and we were able to successfully steal 3 horses.
Thanks to Pan.
Pan and Ari helped because he was able to attack them up silently.
Oh.
And we were able to steal 3 horses, and on the way out of the city, we were stopped by 4 guards. We bulldozed our way past the guards, got one of the 2 gates open, and could flee safely from the city. On the way out of the city gates and down the road, we were then tracked by 4 vicious bloodhounds. And
Mastiffs.
Mastiffs, thank you. Vicious mastiffs. And Pan nobly sacrificed himself to put himself between the party.
Nobly,
and the
he's dead now.
mastiffs. And
Sacrificed.
it wasn't much of a sacrifice because he thoroughly handled all 4 of those mastiffs and then collapsed face down from exhaustion. The party came back for him, and we found a nice little shrine to rest in for the evening. Apollo, right? Shrine of Apollo. And then we rested and recovered because we were so horribly exhausted, and
Let the
continued to
horses
travel
go.
down south until we ran into a camp of people coming from the city of Suburma, where we found that there is this misty death wall that surrounds the city every evening after the sun goes down. And we pledged ourselves to help the city of Suburma to go hopefully solve their mystery. And then we rested for the evening, and that's where we ended up. That was a really quick hour.
It really was.
There
It was
doesn't
great.
sound like we did a whole lot
It
in
was,
that hour, but
it was a lot of fun.
yeah,
It really was.
I mean, it's like every episode is the best episode.
I know,
so
right?
It's just
It's
great.
getting funner.
I'm
And-
kind
oh, yeah.
of getting better at those.
In the
We all
process, Pan and Ari leveled up to 3. So we had to escape Aspasia after we killed the DeMarcus Marzan.
They should call it Escape Show.
Absolutely. And as we were escaping Aspasia, we started getting tracked down by these big, huge mastiffs. We were only able to successfully steal 3 horses because the paladin and the ninja, the monk, should have been better at that, but we failed horribly. So we stole 3 horses. On the way out, we were getting... You remember us stealing the 3 horses?
It's all
Yep.
coming back now.
And as we were escaping the city on our horses, Pan jumped off the horse because they were being trailed by mastiffs, these big hunting mastiffs. And Pan, being the armored tank that he is, decided that he was going to hop off the horse and save his friends. Turned out to be no difficulty at all. I think of the 4 mastiffs, I think Pan only got bit once, and then he smashed them all to a bloody pulp there on the road to Aspasia. And collapsed on the road from exhaustion because it had been a whole night of fighting the DeMarcus, it had been a whole night of fighting guards, been a whole night of trying to escape the city. And luckily...
Pan does a lot of work.
No, it's just what the tank does.
He really does.
And because of Ari keeping a steadfast eye out for the paladin, knew that they had to come back and get him. So they came back and they got him, and we ran into a camp on the side of the road. Camp was being manned by a gentleman named Adrian, who was coming from the city of Suburma, because in the evening, Suburma is surrounded by this wispy wall of death and has become known as Suburma, the city of walled death. And we were instructed to meet Christoph in the sanctuary of Aeolus, but we waited
Also known as areolas.
Yep, that's it. But we decided to wait until the daytime because we didn't want to transverse through the wall of death.
Like a titty.
Because we didn't know what would happen to us. So we eventually got to the sanctuary of Aeolus. Let him know that we had spoken with Adrian. We learned that a little girl named Estevia, who was 4 years old, had disappeared. And after that disappearance, the wall started to be more apparent and happen every evening. And I think the night was falling, and we were in the sanctuary of Aeolus with Christoph and trying to learn about the Wall of Death and where it came from. And I believe that's exactly where we left
Okay,
off.
so the wall appears at sunset, right?
Yeah.
I think that's now all of my notes are making sense.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's where... Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Does that sound about right
Yeah.
where we left off?
I'm just excited about this city of walled death. This sounds awesome.
Suburma. Yep.
I hope we get to go there.
Well, we're there. We're in
right.
the sanctuary. We're in the city. We're in Suburma.
So we're in it?
Yeah, we're in
To
Suburma.
win
All
it.
right. So we didn't have to fight the wall of death yet.
No, because we'd gotten there, fortunately, before nighttime.
Well, that's good.
Does that sound right, DM?
That sounds just about exactly right. Yes.
Nailed it. I hate that I'm the one that has to do this every time. No, I don't. I don't hate it.
Your name sounds really good with recap.
So-
You're the best at
I
it, but we
know.
can take turns.
We talked to Christoph.
We killed a dragon.
Oh, we haven't got there yet. While we were in Suburma, found out a little bit about a grove where the children all went and played. We learned that Estiva had a little friend who was the daughter of the general goods store. We spoke with the blacksmith. There was a little investigation going on to see if we could figure out what caused the death or where the death happened or things of that nature. Bought some rations.
CSI D&D.
Yeah, it was pretty much an info gathering episode. We eventually got to the grove, did some tree climbing, dug through some leaves, and sadly found the remains of Estiva,
Yeah, most depressing episode ever for sure. People
who,
don't like dead
God,
kids.
right?
whose
Kind of
body
felt
had
like my
been
kid died.
scavenged by, I don't know, wildlife. and-
Werewolves.
It's the
Probably
SVU edition.
werewolves.
Probably werewolves.
And we learned that she
CSI
died probably from a broken
SVU.
neck, likely from falling out of the tree, which was her favorite hiding spot. while they were playing hide and seek, which was weird because they weren't playing hide and seek that day.
Exactly.
But we found Esteva's corpse face down in
Face up.
Face up.
face up, yeah, face up
ass
in
down.
a hiding spot.
That's the way we like
So it's really weird that we found
Get
the
around.
body of the dead girl face up in a hiding spot on a day that they weren't playing hide and seek. And as we were trying to put clues of this case together, we saw what appeared to be the form of our destroyer flying through the air, blowing fire away from us into the grove, but slowly flying in our direction. Turned out to be a big, huge, horrible black winged dragon.
No,
Winged-
weaned. They
Weaned,
were
yeah.
correct in that.
Dragon, and
He's got a little of the deaf pronunciation. Ween it.
and that's where we ended because we were deciding if we were going to run or fight, and I think we had agreed to run.
Okay.
So we had already been to Suburma, the city of walled death. We talked to Kristoff. We found out when... Oh, I don't have the little girl's name.
Aeolus?
Stiva.
Stiva.
Estiva.
Ariel.
Areolas? That's a
Not to be
different
confused
thing.
with Esplenda.
We had found out that Estiva had died, I think by murder. Other people think by falling out of a tree because she loved to play hide and seek, but they weren't playing hide and seek. Anyway, I digress. And
Right.
we stayed up to the end of the evening and actually confronted the Wall of Death. Inside the Wall of Death were vampires, and the monk had noticed that this was similar to other breaches in other realms, Forgotten Realm.
Yes.
And we investigated that a little bit further, and we found Cole the Tanner, who we'd met in the previous episode, running into a gold mine.
And I like to run with hunches, so Cole definitely is trying to blur the things, the
Realm,
two realms.
between
Yeah.
the Forgotten Realm.
We don't
I have
know
no
why.
evidence to that,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's the thing.
Yeah.
So that's the assumption.
I
going
wrote
on.
down the name Carissa. What was that?
She
that
explains
was
it all.
no. Carissa was the not the tanner, but the black. I get it now. She was the blacksmith's daughter.
I'm a secret.
Remember the one
comedian.
we talked to her for a minute because she was one of the last people to be with Estiva.
Oh,
And then she-
that's her
The train.
friend.
Right. Carissa's her
Steva's
friend. Yeah.
Okay.
It's stevia. The
Stevia.
worst.
Stevia.
Sugar
Not to be
substitute.
confused with Esplenda.
Right. Esplenda.
In
Rico
the
Recap.
last episode, we
Good job, Ari.
delved deeper into the gold mine. We thought we had a hit on 2 cents of where we could follow Cole. One of the cents led us to a dead end. Basically, it was a mine
Do we
shaft.
need to get XP?
All we did was loot stuff.
Hey,
I mean, I've only been
some of us
doing-
did smart shit.
I know. I've only been doing XP at the beginning of the next time we
Got it.
record.
Okay. That's fair. That's fine.
Yeah.
I got tons for getting all that shit.
And we found a Heidi
You don't get any
loophole.
XP for getting that stuff.
And Ari
FYI.
and
I found a
Osira,
Heidi loot hole.
We found a Heidi loot hole.
A Heidi loophole. A Heidi loophole. A Heidi loophole.
No, I remember you scraping at dirt for a couple times.
Yeah, but I
Ari
knew what it
found
was. I just couldn't
the
get
Heidi
to
loot
it.
hole.
Lux did notice it first.
And I
And-
did know what it was. I just couldn't get to it.
And so we spent a vast majority stuck in this cave with a child murdering Tanner somewhere in these caves.
Alleged child murder.
And
libel laws.
Ari and Gelsira decided to stay up in a room with no doors and just steal stuff over and over and over again.
Choir. It was just there.
And then finally, the
I was
paladin and the
perfectly
cleric got
okay.
tired of it and started to walk to go find Cole because there are more pressing matters at hand. And we had gone back to the big antechamber because of the dead end, and we started to make our way.
That took so
down the other
long.
path.
It really did.
Yeah, it took a way long
We are
time.
now going from 15 more episodes to like 17 more episodes.
At least.
And
Mission
what else happened?
accomplished.
Insidious plans.
There was also a couple twists.
Oh yeah.
Almost.
Lux became a man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys.
Gelsira grew 3 feet.
Whoa, I'm tall.
And the
Whoa.
paladin has had a alignment switch from lawful good to
Existential
chaotic evil.
crisis.
Pan,
So
I
if
He's having
really,
his midlife
Pan, I
crisis.
really like your eyebrows lately. Where you been getting them done?
This is
Bro.
going to be terrible. So, last adventure, we journeyed deeper into the old gold mine. We went one direction, and it was a dead end, but it was not entirely a dead end because there was a little loot hole that
Nah.
Ari decided to spend a lot of time in.
Hey, it's important
I understand,
to
but
get shit if shit is there to
we
be
know
get.
the loot hole's back there. We eventually talked him out of the loot hole
Which we've
when
never gone back to anywhere.
we can go back to it. When we heard loud roaring coming from down one of the tunnels, and it kept getting louder and louder and louder.
Turned out to just be fake orgasms.
Turned out to be fake. Yeah, turned out to be another illusion, much like the fire-breathing black dragon. While we were inspecting the grave of what's the girl's name? Anybody remember the girl's name? I don't remember the girl's
Syphilis.
name. Oh, Estiva. You used to call her Stevia. We made fun of the sweetener
Yes.
for a little bit. We followed the
a good
roaring sound to what we presumed was the direction where we would find coal. And not only did we find coal, but we had found an incubus. And this incubus was quite the challenge, as all of the damage we were doing was not enough to subdue the incubus. And then Lux had the brilliant, insightful idea to play the music box that used to belong to Estivia, as she was able to remember that incubi are susceptible to lullabies or music. So we subdued the incubus, and eventually got to Cole, who turned out to be nothing but a cowering little man-child. I almost forgot the important thing. On the way to Cole, some of us triggered a trap. That trap turned Gelsira into like a 6.5, 7 foot tall halfling.
Basketball player.
Yep. Lux got turned into a man. And Pan got turned from lawful good to chaotic evil. Ari was immune to it because monks have supernatural, preternatural awareness, and he knew where not to step because monks are that badass. And again, we subdued Cole. We started to leave the mines and got out to the mines where we were greeted by Kristoff and the rest of the village. And right now, Pan has the bloodlust. So he is prepared to kill Cole and Kristoff and everybody in this little shithole village.
And the villagers don't know about you, right?
No, nobody knows.
So there's
because on the way out, Lux charmed Pan to keep him docile and subdued.
So they're just like, oh, there's good old Pan.
Yeah, well. So
I'm
in
pretty good at
the
saying Rico
last
Recap.
episode, after we got out of the mines, Cole was hauled off by Kristoff and the townspeople after he confessed to using
Being
the
a
accidental
douche.
death of Estiva to
Sugar sub.
Yeah. Try and hoard all of the newly found gold he found in a gold mine for himself. Cole was hauled off. We found out that there was an oracle, Kristoff's sister.
Yes.
What was her name? I didn't write it down. I asked you to write it down.
Dion.
Dion, in the town of Cosanis, where we were to go and seek possibly hints or news about the robe and necklace of Harmonia, which are the last relics that we're needing. So we left Suburma to head out to this town that was 2 days away. After we slept for the night, Gelsira went back to normal halfling size. Pan's alignment switched back to lawful good. Nothing happened to Ari. Is Lux still a dude?
Actually, technically,
We don't know if
yes.
Lux is still a dude or not because she's passed out. She got in between Pan and Cole and got her head knocked in the process. And we ran into some 40-foot lizard type things that turned out to be just little tiny squashlings that were actually relatively easy. Got caught in some rain and made our way up to a farmhouse where it was answered by this beautiful buxom brunette who I am ready to plow. And that's where we left off in the last episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we were leaving Suburma, and we were headed towards Cosanis after Kristoff told us about a oracle who'd be able to assist us finding the next treasure that we were looking for. So as we left Suburma, we were walking on the road to Kosanis, which I realized was a name of one of the cities that was on the map that I had seen in the Dragonborn Cave. And as we were walking down the road, I guess towards Kosanis, we were, what's the word I'm looking for? Beset on all sides by these giant 6-foot lizard-looking things. In a moment
Wait, do we know that I'm knocked out?
Yeah.
I didn't get knocked out.
The audience knows.
The audience knows.
They listened to the last episode.
Wouldn't that be part of the Rico recap, though?
No.
Oh.
Because that was technically the episode before that.
Anyways, beset on all sides by, what were the name of those creatures?
Quasits.
Quasits, which are shape-changing little reptilian-type looking creatures. And Pan did his best to protect Lux after he had brained her with his warhammer. Gelsira turned into a giant ferocious bear, and Ari did some fantastic monk magic. And pretty soon, those creatures were swiftly dispatched without any of us really breaking a sweat. After we fought those creatures, we came across a farmhouse. In this farmhouse, we learned the history of the farmlands around, about which family's been there the longest, who was the best family, things of that nature. I got cock-blocked by Ari, which
I don't
was
think
fantastic.
so.
No, you did. You totally cock-blocked me.
Is that the
it was
one where
me.
it was definitely Jelly, because I was
Yeah.
all about going out and
Oh,
helping
was it
in
Jelly
the
that
fields
cock-blocked
and
me?
fucking off.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
I was like, let's go do some work, and then I did some work, and
Jelly totally cock-blocked
I was living.
Pan. So we did a little work on the farm. At least Ari did a little bit of work on the farm.
Oh, yeah.
Went out and helped
did a
with
ton of work. I was awesome.
hay or crop or corn or whatever the hell crop they had.
Didn't feel like we had much else to do.
Yeah, there really wasn't a whole lot to
Sounds
do.
like let's go do something.
And then we left that farmhouse and went past another farmhouse, which we didn't even pay attention to. We just fucked right off because we were trying to get to Kosanis. So we get into Kosanis, and we were informed that at the time of the day, the best place to go is the Prancing Centaur, which is eatery and inn where we all decided to go to rest for the evening. On our way to find Dion, Oracle of Kosanis, by way of Hallis, who is the first contact that we are supposed to meet anytime we need to go to consult the oracles. So we got to the Prancing Centaur, we got something to eat, we bedded down for the evening. At the end of the day's trip, Pan was no longer chaotic evil, Lux is no longer a guy, and Gelsira is back to being a 3-foot halfling instead of a 6-foot halfling. Fulling. We'll call it a fulling. And that's where we ended the episode, with a belly full of food and some nice accommodations before we begin our next day's adventure to find Hollis, who was just, one street over up the block a little bit, who is the first point of contact who we're supposed to meet, because we've got to go, I guess, let him know that we're here to speak to Dion, the Oracle of Kosanis. So we woke up in Kosanis, ready to find Hollis. But before we decided to do that, we decided to go do a little shopping. Went to a jeweler's, found out the jeweler is crazy, and it wasn't really the jeweler. Went to a haberdasher.
Crazy and deaf.
Yeah. And Lux ordered a hat. She also got some boots. And for anybody wondering what the boots were, they were boots of elven kind. She doesn't know what they are in game. They're a wondrous item, and the fact that she got them from this town of thieves is pretty incredible.
And I also got stabbed by because I was so stealthy.
Sorry about that.
Can I notice that I got stabbed because I was stealthy? I want to know something.
Yeah,
about,
you hurt.
Okay,
Yeah.
I hurt. That's my notice.
You know you got stabbed.
Well,
You got blood.
She's asking if she can notice why she got stabbed.
You
because
got
she was so
stabbed.
quiet.
Yes.
Okay.
I will allow that.
All right. Sorry, Rico.
No, it's fine. And then Lux also ordered a pretty leather hat. Not sure if that's going to be functional or what her intention is.
But
on
it's
that,
also
but
made out of holy cloth. And
it's going to be leather, and you got ripped off because you told them, "I've got so much money.
You
oh my
never
God, I'm so
know.
rich."
You never know.
It's gonna
Gives
be.
her suddenly
You
it gives
don't
her a
know
plus
anything.
2
I just was
intelligence.
I just got knocked the fuck out by you, so I just want to have a little head protection right now.
Yeah,
okay?
leather helmet's not going to
My
help.
head is a little sensitive right now.
And Gelsira also ordered some boots. You ordered boots, right?
I did order boots.
You ordered boots.
I also traded my nugget of gold in.
So we have like a 2-day wait in this town of Cosanis for them to get their pretty clothes made. And I just want to find Hollis and get to Dion at the Oracle at the temple.
Well, we got to head back to a tavern.
But we've got to go to the tavern first, yes, because we got to get a bottle of sweet wine that we got to give to Hollis. Because we found out Hollis is a woman. I always thought it was a man. That's what I get for just assuming genders. It's my fault. My apologies. But I just thought it was a guy.
Maybe they're
I can't
gender
believe you
fluid.
assume gender.
I know,
Gosh,
I'm the
that's so
worst.
awful.
Actually, Hollis may have started out
You're
as
like-
a man
you're
and
like
turned
worse
into a
than
woman
Hitler.
during this
Yeah,
time.
I am.
So-
I'm pretty bad. I'm
There
up
was a
there.
lot of gender
Hollis-
switching last episode.
Yeah, Hollis might be trans.
That's true. But then wouldn't we just refer
That
to
would
Hollis as
be
their preferred
a
pronoun?
great name
If we knew their
for
preferred
a
pronoun at the
transgender
time.
person.
That's true.
Well, that's
Shirley
why
did
you
tell
can
us
always
Hollis
use
was a girl.
they.
Well,
There's
You
that
can
old
always
mayor in
use
that one
they.
state
let's just
who's
hope they're
gender
wearing a
fluid and
button that has their
sometimes
Their preferred pronoun.
Yeah.
They,
So it was a pretty down episode.
there.
There wasn't a whole lot of intrigue. There wasn't a whole lot of action. It was mostly shopping to get pretty and trying to sell some goods that we had acquired over the past adventures. And it didn't go well. This town is full of people ready to rip off other people, but that's what you get when you
but
come
it's also
to
the nicest town.
Yeah,
to
and
go
it's,
to.
and it's sunny out too.
any
the prettiest
town in
town.
Eris. Everybody's
but-
trying to rip you off and pretty miserable.
It's
And
It's pretty
Things of
much
that nature.
like the
we
Talbot
should visit
Street Art
Enyo
Fair.
at some point.
I think we're going to have to. So we
Throwback.
Craigslist creep.
I know.
It's dead.
We are officially in Cosanis. We met Hollis.
I like that you remember the names of places.
I have places and names written down, the important stuff.
Cosanus.
Yep. And we met Hollis. We found out in order to have a meeting with Hollis needed a special blend of wine. We met a very nice woman in Shirley in the Prancing Centaur who also owned a distillery, which was right next to the Prancing Centaur Inn. It's really, really weird because...
Well, her sister worked there.
No, it was her. No, it
was
was
her sister.
No, it was her.
No.
I'm pretty sure it was her. Was it her
Her
sister?
sister, and we made a joke that her name should be Laverne, and then it was.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right,
Okay.
We missed a golden opportunity. Which
All right. So we buy the wine. We go to, I don't know, wherever Hollis is supposed to be. We have our meeting with Hollis. Hollis is abrasive and kind of a bitch at first.
Drunk.
And
She's
sexy.
super drunk. And we let her know that we needed to meet with Dion, the Oracle of Cosanis. And she's like, well, you're not meeting my fucking sister, blah, blah, blah. So we decided to get her drunk instead because, as everybody knows, drunk women
Are loose.
of loose
Loose lips.
morals. Yeah.
Sink ships.
So we all had a good time and got drunk with Hollis as we were drinking and, I don't know, being jovial and having a good time. Then Ari and Gelsira went shopping, talked to some shopkeepers. Lux bought some boots and a hat.
Elven boots.
Yeah, but at the time, we didn't know they were elven boots. They were just boots. And then we had 2 days to wait because it was going to take 2 days for them to make a stupid hat for a stupid elf head or whatever. And I think Gelsira also got something that was being made because Lux was able to get a discount if she brought in a friend that would also buy something. Do you remember that?
Yep.
I remember that. We found out a lot of people in this city have 2 professions or 2 businesses. One person will be a shopkeeper in one thing, and then we'll walk over to the next shop and it'll be the same person. Ari was
Laverne
getting
2020.
ripped off for his emerald that he had found. It was a whole debate. Good times. If you don't remember, go back and listen to that. And then we got back to Hollis after doing some shopping. Then Lux and Pan got pulled upstairs where there was wild debaucherous sex that was had. And then Ari and Gelsira decided to go off because they weren't invited to go upstairs and found a strange watermill granary or something. I think it was a granary. They decided to get
It
into.
was a watermill.
Yeah, and I think they ground up the grain from the
Right.
water. Yeah, watermill, granary, potato, tomato. Oh, I remember now. Yeah, and then Ari pushed his way upstairs, and Jelsira turned into a cat, bird? Cat turned into a cat and made her way upstairs, where they found Dion, the Oracle of Kosanis that we were looking for. There was some weird prophecy. They said that someone could not be trusted, and then they left to come back to the town where we have to wait, I guess, at least 2 days for somebody's hats to finish being made.
I feel like the next day we were going to meet Dion, maybe.
The next day, I think we were too, yeah. We were supposed
we
to meet
might have
Dion.
fucked up by
We'll find out. Did I miss anything? Was that everything?
big fan.
I think it was.
that
You
everything?
walked
Yeah,
me.
that's
So
great.
did they come? Did you guys come back to the town? Are you
Yeah,
guys back
they
in
had to
town?
come back to the town.
Jesus.
Did we?
Deborah.
Yeah, no, because she was done talking to us after she was
Right.
like, "You can't trust your friends" or something.
And then she passed out.
one of your friends, I forget what it was, but yeah, she was down.
Don't trust anybody.
Yeah, so
They're all after you.
you got it, boss.
Maybe she was just having a bad dream. Maybe it wasn't a prophecy.
So it is now day 2, dawn of another glorious day in Kosanis. We were told by a menagerie keeper that there was going to be an amazing spectacle at high noon
Menagerie
in
keeper.
That's basically what it was.
yeah.
It's a ringleader.
And we get there, and a town crier calls out, "Hear ye, get ready for the execution of Calix, accused thief of Lord Atreus's signet ring." We talked to Rhea, Calix's sister, and she swears up and down that her brother is innocent.
Of course she
And-
would.
Yep.
She was also very forthcoming with information for 4 outsiders.
Well, her brother's life is on the line.
Yeah.
So we found out that there is a already suspected thief in the town who is a halfling. Her name is Gelsira. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait a minute.
His
What's
name is
going on
his
here?
name is actually Eugene. So we went back to Hollis, our rogue friend, to see what information we could find out about Eugene. She says, "Oh, everybody knows Eugene," and she was going to then leave and go set up an appointment with Dion, the Oracle of Kosanis. So we took it upon ourselves to start an investigation to see if we could find either the missing signet ring of Lord Atreus or if we could find Eugene. So we bluffed our way into a shipping warehouse that Calix was in charge of, and we were going to start the investigation because Pan is pretty sure that Calix has been. That looks really good. Has been framed. Who agrees with Rhea? At the end of the last episode, we had successfully found a shipping ledger. We were able to find out what the signet ring or what the house sigil of Lord Atreus looks like. And we had to do this in less than legal means because the magistrate of the area, Lord Acrisius, was out of town or not available at the moment. So when we left off, Gelsira was just about to perform a locate object. What was that spell?
Locate object.
Locate object.
Yep.
And I had guidanced.
Yeah, that's not that important.
Yeah, so locate object is basically if I see an object within 30 feet, I can locate it if it's within 1,000 feet. And even though we don't have the exact object, we did see the sigil of Lord Atreus along with Pan's noble reign. And between those two things...
Pan's noble ring.
Ring, yeah.
Right.
My signet ring.
Between these two items, that should be sufficient enough for me to...
Well, at least we hope.
Right. Well, all we can do is try.
Yeah. I mean, the execution is in 1 hour, so we're either going to find the ring or we're going to go watch Calix get trampled.
Or,
Good times.
Or I'm going to let some elephants out.
Yeah, there's
that's
that
plan
too.
B. That's where the
There's
chaotic...
that too. There is a plan B.
That's the chaotic part of Gelsira coming out.
Are we doing the Rico recap? All right. So we have been in this town for quite some time now. What's the name of the town? I forget the name of the town.
Your
Casonas?
recap.
Is it
Oh,
Casonas?
I don't think it's... Is it Casonas?
It is
Mysterion?
Casonas. All right, so we've been in Casonius for a day or two now. We were supposed to come here to speak with
Yeah, it's
the
Casonas.
Oracle of Casonas. And in the process of shopping for boots and hats and bullshit, There was, as we found out that there was a public execution that was going to be happening because somebody was accused of stealing a ring of a noble. In fact, Calix was the person accused of stealing the ring of Lord Atreus, who we come to find out has a terrible, terrible habit of losing and misplacing things. So we go to the town square, the center of the town, where they're getting ready to execute Calix. And somebody, I don't know who.
His sister.
Rhea.
Nope. That's not even where I was going.
Oh, damn it!
Sorry.
Someone, I don't know who, decided it would be a really, really good idea to turn into a predator and spook all of the animals that are, A, getting lined up for the execution, and B, are just in this exotic animal menagerie who's run by a dude who probably also runs the hat shop, who probably also runs the jeweler, who probably runs
I love this
everything
fucking
else.
town.
You remember now, so you remember where we're at.
I think it's Laverne's uncle.
So, with the great fortitude that our
Jesus
party possesses
Christ.
and the multitude of skills, we subdue lions,
Greatest
we subdue
game
panther,
ever.
we subdue elephants. Ari goes and sucker punches a guard.
I thought you were going to say goat.
This is way more enjoyable than like
the game itself.
No, than like other D&D games I watch.
Oh
or
yeah,
listen to,
absolutely,
for sure.
And
kind of the best one.
our clerical elf decided to do the noble thing and protect Calix from being executed. So that leaves Ari and Pan and Gelsira to clean up this chaotic mess that somebody created. Not sure who. Whoever has the power to turn into animals, whatever. I don't know. So we do that.
I remember this so hard.
I remember her being like, well, I'm going to do it. Like,
So we stave off the execution after we've done some sleuthing in Calix's warehouse out on the docks to try and find Atreus's ring. Was that his name? Atreus? Atreus. Which,
Odysseus?
no, that's the magistrate. Atreus is the noble who lost the ring.
I believe you.
Okay, that's good. You should, because that's what happened. With our super sleuthing and the
I also
druid
love you.
making up for her shenanigans earlier, used detect magic or locate item with the help of Pan's noble ring, and we find the ring. So
I just want to say how
But that happened before the
clever-
animal.
Yeah, that was before.
montage.
yeah, I know
Just
it's
to-
weird. Yeah. We'll
Did you
have
guys
to
find the
reverse
ring
that. We'll have to
before
reverse
the
that
animals
order.
or
Yeah.
after the animals?
It was before the
Okay.
animals.
It was before because we
I-
tried to stop the execution and then somebody turned into made
And saved the
made
day.
insanity happen.
I feel like every time we do this, your confidence just like grows.
Well,
More.
it occurred to me that I have not been chaotic enough.
Just
I
in
need to be
character,
more
I think.
All right. So once we found the ring and we solved the chaos that was the execution, we were left there standing in the circle or the square. And then all of a sudden, Lord Acrisius, the magistrate in charge of the execution or in charge of the security, shows up with, I don't know, all the swagger that a noble shows up
I
with.
think it's Lord Atreus.
Nope. Lord Atreus is the noble who lost the ring.
Oh, they're both lords.
Lord Acrisius is
Got
the
it.
magistrate.
Sorry, never mind.
Chrysius was definitely the one that showed up at
My
the end.
bad.
Yep.
My notes show that.
Sorry.
You're
Yep.
welcome for all the A's.
And that's where we left off, was the arrival of Lord Acrisius and us standing there with the guard that had been pummeled and a man who was charged, falsely for a crime. So we got to speak with Lord Acrisius, who we found out was super cool and super chill, and
He had kind
for
eyes.
a noble, he was super kind. Pardoned Calix. Gave us a medallion that said if we were ever back in the village to give the medallion to somebody, and then we would be someone, or he
I
would be
think we're
someone
just
else.
going to pawn it.
Well, no, we're absolutely not
That
going to
was
pawn
a
it.
joke.
Oh, okay, good, because it was a gift from a noble, and that shit's it was probably
magistrate.
worth money.
Right, a lord.
Yeah, but we're gonna hold on to it in case we need it. Then we met with Hollis after people got their hats and boots, and hats and boots, and hats and boots, and hats and boots, and then we had our meeting with Dion. Got a nice little riddle that I presume people wrote down. If they didn't, I recorded it with a voice recorder because I'm a goddamn genius. On where we could or how we could find the robe and necklace of Harmonia. we left Dion, the Oracle, left Hollis, who said, now that you guys have what you need, I never want to see you again, blah, blah, who the fuck cares? And started to take a path towards what we presume is the first part of the riddle. Pretty rocky and rough. River full of this crazy-ass...
I may not know how to do this. I'll
rapids.
do it from a computer.
Good job. And we slept for the evening, and we had the brilliant idea of having our druid turn into an elephant so we could get across this river safely. And that's where we left off. Last episode, not a whole lot of stuff happened, but a lot of plot happened. So in the last episode, we went to the Oracle of Kosanis, who we later found out was Hollis's sister. While we had our official meeting with her, we were given a wicked cool prophecy about how we could find the necklace and the robe of Harmonia. So the riddle was pretty cool. We had to find the Temple of the Winged Feet on the third rising. Half of the party fumbled around like idiots looking at a rock and kept tripping over it for some reason. I don't know how they managed to continue tripping. Or was it all three of you? 75% of the party.
I saw you go, and I was like, I'm going to go with Pan.
And the paladin, being as brilliant and wise as always, just looked and found an opening in the cave, which we presume was the entrance to the Temple of the Winged Feet. So we go in, we go through the first couple part of the riddles. We had to fight some fatigue because if we were to fall asleep in there, we'd probably stay dead in there, at least according to the riddle. Stay in darkness forever, something to that effect.
Guard against sleep. Oh, wait. No, I know. Sorry.
Yeah, guard against sleep. Yeah. And then we came face to face with Poseidon. Well, at least a picture of Poseidon. And we got into this big, huge, grandiose opening that just went out into, it looked like nothing, oblivion, like a straight fall down. And Pan, again, being the best paladin that he can be, just decided to run straight out.
Wait,
thinking,
hold on. It says walk, not run.
No, it doesn't. It was run.
No, it's walk, not run.
Nope, it's totally run. Dude, I have the recording.
That's what it was. No, it's walk, not run. Hold on.
Oh, wait. No, and then it's you must run through the clouds.
Yeah.
I'm the asshole.
I have
As
the
per usual.
I have the prophecy recorded on my phone.
You do.
Yep. I can play it back. We were supposed to run across the clouds.
No, you were. Yeah.
And so Pan just ran, and then everybody else was like, "Oh, let's all just run."
Yeah. Not running through the forest. That's what it was.
Yeah. Walking through the forest,
Yeah,
not
to
running
walk.
through the forest. And we had to run across the clouds.
Right.
And then we all did. We successfully all ran across the clouds. Nobody's. Oh, no. Ari stopped and looked down and had to be saved.
Only because I rolled poorly.
Yeah, that's right.
I was definitely not going to stop and look down and need to be saved.
And as we ran across the clouds, got to somewhere, I don't know, some realm of the gods somewhere, and came across this beach. Wasn't it like kind of gloomy and overcast or whatever? And then we found this ship with these ghost pirates, apparitions, some pirate of some such. And they wanted to be free from their curse. I suggested we use the sickle of Aspasia, Cronus' sickle that we found in Aspasia. And Ari had the brilliant idea of just giving them his Viagra potion. It's not really called a Viagra potion. It was a potion of vigor. But
Vitality,
whatever.
Viagra.
And they were very thankful, and we were going to board the ship to get across the ocean to an island where we presume we are going to find the robe and necklace of Harmonia. We were getting ready to board the ship, and that's where we ended on the last episode. Well, this is going to be a short recap because everything kind of took place on the ship for like an hour and a half. So we boarded the ship with Captain Barack.
That's my
the
cross
ship
to bear.
that has no name.
Let me be clear.
We knew it was a day's travel across the ocean to get to the island
Barack Obama.
that we're looking for. While we were out traveling, we got attacked by the Charbidus, which is this huge, giant kraken-like sea creature. There was an
Good job
epic.
with the Kraken Lake.
Yep, there was this epic, intense battle where we all had to fight basically for our lives, and by all of us I mean Ari, because he's the only one that really took much damage.
What can I say?
He's a liability. You don't ever want a Dragonborn monk in your party. They are nothing but liabilities.
But I'm feeling stronger now.
But there was an epic fight. Lux cut off one whole tentacle, like just chopped it all the way off.
Nice job, Lux.
Jelsira turned into a bear and ate a whole tentacle.
Pretty much.
Ari got bent over and took an entire tentacle. And Pan jumped
Sucked
into the
his
mouth
dick.
of the Charbitus and holy smited it and swung at it with the sickle of Kronos.
In full armor.
Yeah, magically. I am blessed
Magically
by
floated.
Bahamut. Praise be to him.
Must be a lot of salt in the sea. You all floated pretty good.
And,
Right?
Ari somehow accidentally threw a dagger in the mouth of the Charbitus
A
and
dart.
made it retreat
A throwing dart.
A
into
little
the
tiny
ocean.
dart.
I don't know how it happened. It must
With
have been
that dab of
that
poison on it.
snake venom that he dipped into it.
It really was a snake venom.
Just in case you guys didn't know, Charbitus is incredibly weak to snake venom.
Now we know.
And we were climbing back onto the ship for those of us that were in the water, and probably trying to straighten the ship to get, hopefully, successfully across the ocean to the island where hopefully the robe and necklace of Harmonia await us. And that's about it, right?
Thanks, Rico.
Yes.
That's about everything that happened. So on the last episode, we found ourselves seabound on a pirate ship, going across a sea. I guess that makes sense if we were seabound. We were going across
Take
the
two.
sea. And while we were on this boat, there was some giant tentacle kraken-like creature. Wasn't really the kraken.
It was very pornographic.
No, it wasn't. That started to take the boat like into its mouth. But there was quick work by Ari to right the ship and keep it righted. There was a glorious battle where Pan jumped selflessly into the water with a bolt of holy lightning.
As he does.
Yep. And Lux also jumped off of the boat with full bravado and severed one of its entire tentacles clean off. Clean off.
Probably the penis.
Probably the penis tentacle. And as we were fighting, Ari had the brilliant idea to just let go of the wheel of the ship and throw a poison dart at the kraken-like creature, which we found out turned out to be its ultimate weakness, because one poison dart, despite the other people fighting this thing through battle and turn, he hit it and it killed it. Well, at least forced it to retreat. One poison dart. So the monk pretty much handled that creature all by himself. He was like, I'm done with this ship bullshit. Here's a poison
Wasn't
tip
he
dart.
like rowing right before it too?
He was keeping the ship straight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then the bear took over the steering.
Yeah. The bear was steering the boat.
And there was some cannon fire, but they were pretty useless because
Yeah.
the ghost pirates had shitty ghost cannons.
Yeah, and they came to the party way late.
Way too late.
I know, right? What the fuck?
Well, I mean, they were shitty ghost.
Like your shitty ghost ship is gonna shitty ghost sink,
Yep.
dudes.
And
wake up.
so we defeated the creature and got to the shore. And as we got to the shore, there was this deep, mysterious fog that none of us could see through. Well, of course, Pan did, because Pan's fantastic and paladins are the best.
Oh, the Charbitus.
And we found the Charbitus, yeah. And we were all scared because this thing had 3 titties and 3 dog heads
Carb
and a shark tail.
You're
I
actually
think it
talking
was
about the
two.
Scylla.
The Scylla, that's it. Yeah.
Charbitus was the Kraken.
Yeah, the Charbitus was
Scylla,
in the
yeah.
ocean and the
Is it
Scylla was on land.
the Scylla.
Actually, no, it's the Scylla, yeah.
The Scylla.
The Scylla. Okay, I thought it was.
So,
Bacilla.
anyways, it had 3 tits, 3 dog heads, and a lady head, and a shark
I
tail,
think it
and
was
a
2
snake
shark
body.
tails. Was it? I think it
No,
was
I think
double fin.
it was 1 shark tail.
It had
feel like
3 fish tails,
Oh,
3
3
fish
fish tails,
tails.
3
That-
dog heads,
which we
3
fucked.
dog tails,
3 titties,
3 dog
and
tails.
a woman with only 2 titties.
3 titties.
No, we all,
3 titties.
every one of us saw 3 titties.
And we had a fantastic fight
Some
with
Blade
it.
Runner shit.
Your perception is truth. So
Yep, that's how I remember it. And our brilliant druid had the plan of just summoning a big, huge orb of fire next to the Scylla that would continually burn it.
She killed it.
Yes, she did. But not before it was compelled by Bahamut to stay there and duel me.
wow.
Yep. My god is an awesome god. He reigns way over shitty-ass Weejess. And so it had to stay there and get punched in the titties by Ari, get lit on fire and trampled when Jelsira turned into an elephant. And Lux actually had her first foray as a healer, making sure everybody stayed healed.
Guys, when I win the lottery, I'm going to have this podcast made into a cartoon. So I want to see it so bad.
And we
Harmony Quest is nothing on it.
triumphantly
In my head, it sounds
and
pretty
successfully
good.
defeated the Scylla and the Charybdis, and we decided to climb a huge-ass rock cliff. Well, some of us had to climb it. Somebody had a potion of climbing that just let them get up the hill. Yeah, it was a potion of climbing. Or a potion of climbing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a potion of climbing.
Like that.
And we ascended the sheer rock face overlooking this gray, horrible, misty ocean, where we saw on a pedestal or rock formation before us the robe and necklace of Harmonia. And that is where we ended the last episode. Was that pretty accurate?
We won.
All right. So after we got up the cliff face and we were gazing at this altar, Pan had the bright idea of cutting air with the sickle. That didn't work.
Just start giving somebody else to do the recap.
Pan's had-
It's being a little.
Someone had the idea of seeing if there was a force field first.
Okay, I'll get to that. Calm down. And then Pan had the brilliant idea of trying to take a bite out of the golden apple, which didn't hurt, or which didn't help, and it hurt a little bit. So Lux looked around to see if she could find any sort of barrier or any sort of writing on some columns with Jelsira. We were unsuccessful at finding any clue or riddle as to how to get into it.
Gelsira.
Jelsira.
It's either
Who
or.
gives a shit?
Potato, tomato. And then Gelsira. Gelsira? No, I'm pretty sure it's Gelsira.
It's Gelsira, but we call her Jelly.
Yeah,
Yes.
you guys are the wrong ones.
The wrong one.
It's a nickname. Jelly's a nickname.
And then Gelsira decided, oh, well, you know what? Let's just go
into a
ahead
bear.
and
Yeah.
pray to Poseidon to see if he'll...
Neptune.
Neptune? Was it Neptune?
Is this
Well,
your
I
first
looked.
fucking day?
I looked at the shrine.
Man, I had a long day
Yeah, he's
today.
been through a
I
lot.
just got off of a flight just a couple hours ago.
That's
Is
okay, we're here to-
Neptune
we're here
the
to
other
help.
god of the sea?
Yeah, I think Neptune is the Roman god of the sea.
It's a fucking planet, morons.
Neptune's a planet.
It is also the Roman god of the sea. Poseidon is the Greek version
yeah, and
of the god of the sea.
Gelsira looked at the shrine and saw the signal of the symbol of Neptune on the
Yep.
ground. So I prayed to
The
Neptune.
signal sigil symbol.
So they're both the same. Neptune and Poseidon are both the same. They're both the same god. One's Greek, one's Roman.
They are.
And Gelsira was then covered in this beautiful cone of glowing white light that granted her access into the shrine to obtain the robe and necklace. While she was also in that shrine, she found an old-ass journal from an old dead skeleton guy,
Bone Daddy.
Bone Daddy,
Shut up.
and learned that somebody had spent 3 days building that barrier to keep the gifts out of, or the robe and necklace out of the covetous
I think it's
hands.
pronounced GIFs.
Yeah, GIFs. It is pronounced GIFs.
Gifts, not GIFTS, gifts, to keep it out of the covetous hands of the Sklovari. And she obtained said robe and necklace, left the shrine. We descended down an exact 35-degree angle hill
Exact.
and found what would have been the traveler's belongings, which was an old busted-ass boat
Dungeon Master like that
and
one.
some tar. And we quickly fashioned a boat and a mast and a sail and shoved off into the ocean, where we were sailing towards what we think is Sklovari. And as we were sailing, there were some ripples in the water, and some merfolk popped their head up.
And we fucked them.
Not yet. But we think it's 2 merfolk, or it could be 1 mer person with 2 heads.
But not
We're
a
not
reverse
sure.
merfolk.
It's and Pan and Ari think that they're reverse merfolk, where the top half are fish and the bottom half are humans.
Find out on this
That's
episode.
the fun part. The
of
bottom
Someone
half is the
Play.
fun part
Yeah.
of the human.
And we
Go,
will find
Sarah, I
out
think you're getting a little more personality.
on this episode
Love it.
of
Don't let
Someone
me
Play.
punish that.
I mean, who gives a fuck
I
about
love it.
tits
Whatever
if you have to fuck a
Mississippi
cloaca?
mud or whatever you need to drink,
It's not that
I'm
bad.
enjoying it.
Good.
And that's where we left off.
I'll keep doing it.
Okay, so we got the robe and necklace. We read a musty old journal. We found a way off of the island. I crafted a boat with survival. We sailed across the ocean, ran into some merfolk, traded for some items. Somebody got some boots of teleportation. I got a stone knife.
Oh, somebody got boots of teleportation?
Well,
I know,
somebody
right?
got some
What?
boots. We don't know what those boots do,
I'll fix it in post.
but we got some boots. We got a potion.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats.
And then we finished sailing across the ocean to the city of Sklovari. Stopped and ate at a couple fisheries. Jenna ate at the poor boy fishery. I ate at the rich snooty fishery. Ran into some dude in armor with, shitty armor and an even shittier sword. I accused him of stealing his glory.
I remember now.
Yeah. And he walked
What
off.
a punk.
Yeah. And
Idiot.
so Daphne got to eat his breakfast. Remember that?
I do now.
Yeah.
That was pretty great.
And so the guy that
Oh, yeah.
I made run away went to, I don't know, mayor or something. And we were making our way into the city of Sklovari proper. And I think that's where we ended last game. I think that sounds about right. Does that sound about right? Anybody else?
I don't have a clue. Did I take notes? Oh,
Probably
yeah, I
not.
took lots of notes.
Oh, okay. So is that where we ended?
We fought something.
That is where you ended.
Did you say you fought a thing?
I don't think we.
We did.
I thought we just argued.
I didn't fight a thing.
I thought we just argued.
I intimidated a guy
Yeah.
away.
Murder the governor. What was about murdering the governor?
No, that was my idea. Was that that's what we do now?
You just go into towns and murder the
We just
governor?
start murdering governors.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that.
All right. So last episode, we bought some fish rations. They were really, really good. We got in a fight
We
with
didn't eat
some
any yet.
surly guards who, for some reason or another, just decided they didn't like us because they were racist and they have small penises.
Poor guys. We should. You know what, guys? We should have just hugged them. Been like, oh,
We should have talked
sorry.
about something entirely different than Ari's race. About all the good things the Dragonborn have done for Erison and Yo beyond
Come
the
at
Mist.
it from a different perspective.
And Jelsira headbutted a dude in the dick. Way to go, Jelsira.
Can I just point out, Daphne, not Jelly, is working on her third pulled pork burger.
Let's go, champ.
Those brioche buns are amazing.
And
Right?
in the middle of the tussle, Ari had his bag stolen. And then we chased down the thief. Well, Ari chases down the thief. Pan didn't. He walked there because he's slow and lazy. And we met a gentleman named Stavros. Is that right?
Yes.
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 It's like
And-
Davros from
Yes, but-
Doctor Who.
Stavos with an R in it.
And we found out that
That
he had his family throne stolen from him by his piece of shit uncle.
Who
And
might have molested him.
He might have
there's
Only you would bring
blacked
that
it
up.
out.
there is strong evidence
True
of
Catholic.
yes.
Catholics? Yeah.
And we found out that Stavros and his family have a lot of information on the fabled relics of Harmonia and may know a way for us to get to the mythical land of Phasian to the altar of the 12 gods. There is a catch, though. We have to
There always
depose the current leader, who also happens to be his uncle. So we were all on
And
board.
it's also happens to be something that we kind of like to do.
We've gotten pretty good at it. We are 1 for 1. We're 100% for deposing lordships.
It's our resume.
Yeah, it is. It's the one bullet point.
Adventurers overthrow governments.
And we decided to take a short rest and catch our breaths, and soon devise a plan for how we were going to depose his uncle and further our knowledge of these relics and get to Phasian.
And murder
Was that all?
some
we did?
penguins.
That was everything we did. All right, so on the last episode in our adventures in Sklovari, we got in a little tussle with a couple guardsmen who, for some reason, didn't like us in their town. They were kind of rude about it.
Racist.
So, yeah, we tried to go outside. We would pan, and everybody else was like, look, we're not trying to fight. We're just trying to, make our way out and go. If you don't mind, that'd be fantastic. We'll leave your town. They weren't having that. So then it came to brawls. It came to punches. There was a blonde-haired dude, and there was a brunette dude, and they both got embarrassed horribly. And I mean just embarrassed. There's no pun there with a bear. Like, Jelsira did not turn into a bear and
Didn't have
destroy
to.
them. But I think they just got intimidated away. Like, we scared them away and sent them running. And in that process of tussling with the guardsmen, Ari had all of our shit stolen. Every single thing that we had put in his half bag of holding. He just had it stolen. So our Dragonborn monk, who's incredibly dexterous, can't keep track of our shit. And he just got pickpocketed. And
You're doing like 2 episode recaps.
No, I'm not.
You are, because
He does that every single time.
that was 33, and 34 we were at the thingamajig.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
Does that
Don't
every
worry. Yeah.
time.
Ready to fight.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll
Okay.
get there. It's cool. Don't worry.
It's helping me out.
So actually, he got his stuff stolen by Stavros,
Yes.
and we went to a little bar, and there was a plot that began to take shape
Yes.
where we had to go kill Stavros' uncle
We did. Yes.
because Stavros' family had been dethroned. A coup, as it were. We'll use Donald Trump's favorite phrase. There was a coup in their
Ooh,
fiefdom.
That was so coherent.
Nope.
That didn't land. So we chase Stavros down. We get all of our stuff back, thank God,
Yes.
because Bahamut, first of all, thank Bahamut that we got everything back. We found out that in order to get our stuff back and in order to progress further into our adventure, we have to go kill Stavros' uncle. So Ari spends the night Pan spends the night getting drunk. Everyone else gets rest because they're smart, genius, wise adventurers. And then we make our way to Stavros' uncle's compound, which is Stavros' compound. Getting some fights with some guards. I get in some fights with some guards. Only 2 of them because the other 3 just like fall off of ramparts and hit themselves with their swords and shoot themselves in the eyes with arrows. I don't know.
Guards
they were
are
terrible.
so bad.
And in the meantime, Jelsira, Stavros, Lux, and Ari have the brilliant mastermind to sneak into the back via stealth. And that's when Ari remembers he's a monk of the hidden shadow or whatever.
Yeah.
I forget. What?
Way of the Shadow.
Way of the Shadow. That was close.
Very
and
close.
just decides to stealth everybody up the stairs to skip all of the combat, costing all of us sweet, sweet, precious XP. Thanks for that. And get into the uncle's bedroom. They smell something. Nobody knows what it is. I think it's old man, but I wasn't there. It was probably poison. Who knows? And then Stavros, very defiantly, jumps on his uncle's bed and stabs him in the heart and kills him. So we get Stavros' crown back. The uncle is dead. All the guards are now back sworn to the rightful heir of the land. And we find out more about the Sickle of Kronos. We find out there's a hidden path that will take us to Falzian and the altar of Falzian? Falzian? Is that right? Phasian. To get to the altar of the 12 gods. And we should not stray from the path because Stavros, has been breeding terrible, horrible monsters off of the path for God knows how long. And we still have to worry about someone that's going to betray us in the future.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then we were going to stop and
Lux
rest for the
plays
evening.
on her flute.
We were going to stop and rest for the evening before we'd ventured off the next morning. So I presume everybody will have a long rest. You'll get to prepare your spells, and we'll venture on foot to Phasian. I think that was everything. That was all the highlights.
Yes. Thank you for listening to Some Would Play, a production of the Outsanity Network. Join us again next week as the story continues. Find us online at www.somewouldplay.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at SomeWoodPlay. Deborah is at Sonyataki. Rico is at R1C0. Jenna is at Jenna Toll. Daphne is at Dafterthought. And I am Psychedelic M. If you enjoy the show, please tell your friends and share it with others. And remember, in real life, you needn't roll for initiative, so just seize it.